Hi, Sue Rose MInahan, host of Talk Cosmos, a weekly hour panel conversations with many astrologers, and the Now Chat short commentaries. Just subscribe and connect. Love to have you on with me at the YouTube and comment. Today is March 17, 2021, and the EU, the United Union, has proposed a green certificate that's a common health card that would alleviate and promote travel because summer's coming. Everybody wants to get up and go. Now, can we? We don't know. But so, astrologically, let's look at some charts. Let's look at the French chart. It was July 14, 1789, shortly after the United States, and I don't have a time. It was Paris, France. And as you can see, it is a Cancer nation. The nodes are in Taurus of survival and North Node intense Scorpio. So they have quite a few. What's interesting with this chart is you will see that the personal planets Mercury, Venus, and Mars are all in personal signs. The first signs, Gemini, Cancer, and Leo, of our individual self, of that process. Whereas the outer planets, and so is actually social planet Jupiter. However, the other planets from Saturn to Uranus, oops, Uranus is also a personal planet. Okay. So one of the outer planets is in a personal sign. In fact, it's conjunct their Venus, which gives them a really strong individual sense of freedom for their values. But there are quite a few here, with Saturn being in Pisces and Neptune, of course, in Libra and Pluto in Aquarius, that they're transformational and their structural sign here in Pisces is on transpersonal feelings. So it looking because it's about the government, I put that's one reason I put Saturn at the ascendant. We don't know the time, so we don't really know the ascendant. However, any planet can be at the ascendant, and it's a viewpoint from their perspective. So being in Pisces, you could look at either Neptune or Jupiter as the rulers. So this is just an interesting factor that I am doing, and also because of a system called Monomaria that is an ancient Hellenistic system of using the Chaldean order. That's the original five planets and the two luminaries according to speed. And it's where each degree has a different planet according to the degrees. It's a pretty simple way of looking at it, but it does make that the 22nd degree of Cancer happens to be ruled by Saturn, which is fascinating. Okay, now the United States also has a lot of significance with the chart of France. You can see that our Mercuries are within a degree apart, and they could be exact because we don't know France's time. Again, our North Node here has this big stellium that they have, a small stellium, but very significant, with Uranus of their authenticity and geniusness of independent thinking and being, with their values and their philosophies. And that is with our North Node of our direction that we're integrating into our own manifestation of being. Our we're both Cancer. We both have family, home, food, uh, emotions, stories, security to our heart. So, looking at this event of today that has more that I want to cover, and putting Mercury at the very beginning on the ascendant because Mercury is travel. How does the world look according to this? France wanted to reopen their society. And there were concerns about what about the government? Whose responsibility would it be to determine and would it, who came in, who went out, and would it be according to blood? It's really, as they decided, an ethical debate. Well, ethical debate also goes back to Saturn here. And interestingly, in this chart, Saturn of the transiting right now is conjunct their natal Hygeia of health. And it is an Aquarius. They're talking about a pass that would be a digital one, a lot like coming to Hawaii, where I am. You had to take a test, and if you were negative, then it was in their system. I mean, it's not brand new. In fact, they've been doing it with Alaska also because of all the fishermen, or fisher people, I should say, that go up there. So it's beginning to expand. Now, there's a big fallback too. Is this going to be where we just worry about efficiency, and what about our civil rights? I mean, again, they are, look at this with their conjunction with Uranus here. And it happens to be conjunct also the day here in the 6th house of health. So it's very interesting how, and astrologically, we can see that actually, I have that reversed. The transits are on the inside and France is on the outside. So in other words, our transits of health are conjunct their Uranus and their philosophies and values, whereas today's Saturn of how is this going to get structured is according to their sense of health. And again, what's so amazing is there is a Mars return. Mars return is a significant, it happens every 2 years. And in this case, it happens to be evident for this moment with France, that's really concerned about this process. But what the Ursula von der Leyen, who's the European Commission president, signified that they want everybody to get on board together. There's several nations there, part of the members, such as Belgium, that are having restrictive travel rules. In fact, Belgium banned all non-essential travel. And you can see, and I'm presenting the idea that how France, not necessarily Belgium, but France, how they think has some very similarities with the United States about our focus. So it is most intriguing how this could be. Well, what else is here? If you look at just the date, I mean, just the transits, it's like the breaks of Saturn and the expansion of Jupiter are right in the 12th house, looking at this purpose of how to be transformed. How is France going to transform with their Pluto, with their health? Because it's the 12th house where it's common. We're dealing with a bug or virus that is not, beyond our control, and it's a potential toxic that's significant. If we were to swap this, and again, put France on the inside, it's amazing how the sun, which is the transiting sun in the first house, that the sun rules the 7th house of health, and Hygeia is sitting right there. That is for today's transits. That's the difference there. Well, if you look at it in another way too, France wants to have pleasure, and here the 5th house with Hygeia for the transits is right in their 5th house. So we shall see. It's most interesting. Do subscribe. Thank you so much. Lots of love to you and lots of health. Okay, till again.